Okay, so over here we have a profile button. So you can go in here and update your information. And save that. Over here, we have a help, feedback, and suggestions button. So if we click over here, you could say what you want, what you have, what you want to give information about. So whether it's a balance board is not working, or or something on the coach on your QuickBase dashboard, your M-Wave. If you want to just give feedback, your ILS equipment's not working. You notice something's wrong with payroll, whatever it is, scheduling, session records. You could select what it is that you want to write about. You could put in a subject line over here, and then you could put in the details of that request and save and close. What this will do is, instead of, many times coaches don't know who they're supposed to address for what problems. So here it's just very easy. You select what you need help with, and the system will send it to who it needs to go to. And then once you're done, you click save and close, and that's done. Okay, so over here we have the active clients. It's clients who are either in session or they're assigned to you, but they haven't started yet. So here you can see this child has 40 sessions. He's completed 30 of them. There are 20 sessions scheduled. So you may have noticed that it adds up to more sessions than 40. The reason for that is because we have, at the end of every course, we add in a buffer zone of 2 weeks where if sessions were canceled and they were not yet made up, then you have that amount of time to make up sessions before the course is officially done. Over here, you have a button that says edit next session. So if I click on this, it will open up the next scheduled session, was scheduled for June 14th. So over here, you'll see there red text, and it basically says, this is the next scheduled session for this course. Please make sure you add the sessions in order. Really, this line is not really necessary because it's giving you the scheduled sessions in order. If the date is not correct, please edit the date. I don't know if you could actually, we really don't want you to edit the date because the session that's scheduled. So we want to know, oh, I think that this schedule was filled. This session was filled in. This session was filled in. All the information is here, but we need to change it from schedule to complete. I could do that now. I could just go complete. Now that's session number 31, and I'm saving it, closing it, and then that's done. So now if I click on edit next session, it'll give me the next scheduled date, which is June 16th. Yeah, so we really don't want you editing this date. If there was a session scheduled for this date, we want to know, did it happen? Was it canceled? What was the story? If you want to create a makeup session for this date, then you would go in and add a session. I'll show you how to do that. We'll click cancel that. So over here, when I click on the name of the child, so this is the student profile. I have the first name, last name, his full name, birthday, what grade he's in. We have when the parents filled out their intake forms at the beginning, before the course started. So they said, what are his difficulties? Does he have any medical or diagnoses? Is he on medication, or any additional information? So that's all here. Here's what their hopes and expectations are. There's a little bit more information about his family doctor. And over here, you have Dr. Steiner's, the psychologist meeting. You can see his notes there. Over here, we have parents' information, their phone number, their email address in case you need to get in touch with them. And over here at the bottom of the page, under the course information tab, we have a button over here that says add session. If I'm making up a session, it's not already scheduled, just click on this button and we can manually put in a date. We can put in that it was completed. Or if you want to schedule, like you didn't have the session yet, but you want to put in that there's going to be a session on Thursday, you can mark it as scheduled here. And actually, I don't think you can do that. You can't do that because there are required fields, and it'll tell you that it won't work. So yeah, once the session is completed, you come in here and add the session and mark it as complete or canceled or whatever, and then save and close. Is that clear? Okay, so we're gonna go back here. I'm just gonna click back into his name for a second. Over here, we have another tab called Session Records. So when I click on the Session Records, I have all the information about this child, of his sessions with me. So over here, I have a section of notes to self. So whenever I fill out a session record and I make a note for myself, it will be under this section. Over here, there's, for example, he needs more practice with this particular exercise. So it's a note for yourself so you can know before I start my next session, these are the things that I want to work on in this session. Then I have the in and out information. So I have the date of the session, what session number it is, whether it was completed or canceled or whatever the situation is. These were all completed, except we have
the one that says scheduled for March 26th.
Yeah.
Is that how it's supposed to show up?
It's not how it's supposed to show up. However, the button that we have on the coach's dashboard now that says edit the next session, that wasn't in effect by this date. So this is before. What we did once we built in that functionality, we ran an automation that took out duplicate dates. So if there was a scheduled date for March 26th and there was a completed session for March 26th, we took out that scheduled session. Over here, it must have been a unique date. So there wasn't a completed session with the same date, so we left it in. It doesn't really affect very much. It's just a question of, hey, what happened on that date? But you can see at a glance, the session was completed or the session was canceled or there was a no-show. What time did they come in? What time did they leave? What was the mood when they came in? How did they leave? Were they engaged? Were they not engaged? And you can see if you have a child who started off and he was really shy and quiet, and then later on he became more and more engaged and active, you'll see the progression just by looking at this list. So we really broke it up section by section. You have the music notes. So, and if you were to actually put in the notes for this, you'd be able to see them here as well. So if he was only able to keep the music on for 5 minutes and you want to elaborate what was going on, you could put that in over here. And then as the course progresses, you have a story that you can read of how this child progressed through his course. And the same thing with all the other activities. So you could go through them. You have over here the notes to parents. And again, that's also throughout the course, what kind of communications did you have with the parents? That's this section of the course management. Over here, we have a button that says My Paid Sessions. I'm not going to click on it, but it basically tells you should be able to see over there what sessions you've been paid for and in what pay period and things like that. So you'll have a record of your paid sessions. Just as because I didn't get to it over here, you'll notice that there's an Edit Next Session button, which I showed you. And then over here, there's an Add Session button. This Add Session button is here because there are no scheduled sessions. Sometimes at the end of a course, or if there are many canceled sessions, so you may run out of scheduled sessions, and if you still have time to do it and you want to add a session, this button will be here because there are no future scheduled sessions there to fill out. Over here, we have a coach training page. It's still a work in progress, but if you click on it here, so there are old videos of how to add blackout dates and session records. So I'm not going to click on that. But we also have over here learning breakthrough videos where you guide on how to do the LBP exercises properly. Sometimes it's good just to have a brush up on, because over time you may start doing things, and because it progresses slowly, you may think that that's really the way to do it because you get used to doing it in a way that's not 100%. So these videos can really help you to get back on track to do the exercises and activities properly, which is really important for good outcomes. We are going to add to here the ILS videos as well, and the goal is also to have text. So if you don't want to sit there watching videos, you could actually go through the guidebooks, the manuals. So, but that's what's currently here. Over here, we have a reimbursement page. So if I click over here, so you'll have add new reimbursements, and you can put in the date of the purchase, what the item is, and more information of why you needed this item for your Maxi Mind sessions. You put in the amount, and if you have a receipt, you could upload the receipt so that we could see that this is what was the bought and everything about it. And then you would save that. And on the main page, before you click on add reimbursement, there's a list of the reimbursements that were already requested. Over here, there's an add or update your blackout dates. I hope it works. So over here, you can see what the blackout dates are. So these are the holiday dates, and they really get uploaded to your blackout dates. So you don't have to worry about these dates. You don't need to put them in again. They're already there. But dates that you're going to be away beyond the holidays, you would want to put them in. And we're going to click on this button here. Yes. So over here, you could put in a start date. If you're going away for let's say a week, you could put in June 15th till June 22nd. Click on add by range, and it will give you all these dates. And you still need to put in a reason for each one. So if it's like a vacation, so you just put in vacation, copy it, and paste it down the, I think it's because it's a map, possibly. Okay, it might be a different kind of, because it's, there you go. Yeah. And then you would scroll down to the bottom and click submit. But I'm not going to do that because these aren't real dates. We have add or update your availability. Does this thing work? I'm not sure this is actually, I think right now, if you want to change your availability, let me know. This process is a little bit complicated at the moment. But let's say, okay, so we're going to try to walk through it. The way this works is, let's say okay, so right now for this coach, there aren't any availability dates in here. Sharzad, what's your general availability?
Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday.
Trying to click on the button. Let's see if it comes up. Are you seeing anything pop up?
I see the
okay,
Maxi Minds.
Okay, so we don't see it. Are you able to stop sharing?
Yeah.
And then when you click to share again, but this time share the screen instead of just a window.
Oh, okay. This one. Want me to share that one?
Access needed. Okay, so that's not going to help us. So at this point, if you want to update your availability, let us know what your availability is, and we'll do it for you on the back end.
So you want me to get back to the Maxi Mind, just only that page?
Yeah, just the dashboard. I think that's really all. Just make sure.
Okay, sure. You just give me a second, please.
And then once I make that, once we get it ready for you, then I'll put out a video about how to update your availability.
So when that is going to happen, should everyone still be letting Leah know that through an email that there is a change as opposed to relying on the automation?
I guess at the very beginning, you might want to. I mean, she should be getting notifications when that's, I mean, right now it's probably not set up, but when we go live with that for the coaches, she should be getting notifications saying that, that availability was changed. If you want at the very beginning, we may want them to send emails as well. So that way we can make sure that they're getting that's coming through. But once we have it on a regular basis where the emails that come in match the notifications, then we can say, okay, this is working. We don't need these, we don't need the double work.
Leah, how do you feel about that?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. Shlomo, I have another question to ask you. For the blackout dates, would it make sense to have like a drop-down box that they can just click on the reason, or are there too many variations that would go along with that?
It's a good question. I would need a list of reasons to put in there for drop-down.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to give me that list, I'll be happy to do that. Sharzad, can you just share your screen for one more second on the coach dashboard?
Yes, sure.
Yeah,
I think that's everything. Okay, so you can stop
hold
sharing.
Hold on 1 second.
What?
One sec, please. The past clients. Okay, so if let's say.
Oh yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to request again. Oh, you got it. Okay, so that button on top, that pink button, shows all of your all children who had a course, and then the amount of sessions completed matches the amount of sessions in that course. So here you can see it was a 60 session course and 60 sessions were completed. 24 sessions completed. Over let's say for whatever reason we're giving extra sessions to this child. So over here there's a button that says add session, and you could click on it to add to you could so you wouldn't find this child on the active client list because they're beyond their amount of sessions that they're supposed to get. But you could come in here and add a session, or you could come in here and click to see the information about the course if you wanted to revisit that and see how it went.
So if you're adding a session to a past client, does Caprice get that information so a coach would get paid for it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, and you fill it out the same way. So that's yeah, so that's the story. Does anybody have any questions? Okay.